with the state of mental health out here right now, do you really want to fuck around and find out when it comes to mental health? Peace, peace, peace. What's poppin', my peoples? It's your boy Sincere Seven coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. The Pad, representing House of Genesis. So yeah, today I just wanted to come and kick it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to come and kick it with y'all about some things. Microdosing, to be specific, mainly. You know what I'm saying? Mainly. But I want to give y'all the understanding of why, because once I put out them golden teachers and them enigmas and them other couple strains the other day, people been falling through and hitting me up and been like, yo, and I see that it is the season, right? For psychonauts, at least, we know, like, once the spring hit and the weather changed, we all get out here and start going on the little trail walks into the aquariums. And you know what I'm saying? We've been locked up. Peace to the milkman. I see you, brethren. You know what I'm saying? We've been locked up in the houses and dealing with this cold weather and not really been able to get out and move around the way we wanted to. So a lot of us have been doing our psychonaut trainings indoors, you know what I'm saying? And I also think that there is certain modalities that individuals like psychonauts use more in the winter. And then when the spring hits, they jump back over to other things, you know what I'm saying? But we can talk about that here in the doors. But anyway, so my point is, it's time for the mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? This is the time where they start sprouting outside naturally. And naturally, this is the time where people just feel the inclination to start getting back into their practices, whether they be recreational or whether they be for spiritual reasons or mental health. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times we'll mix it. Spiritual, working with the mushrooms in a spiritual manner, is not necessarily the same as working with the mushrooms for mental health. Mm-hmm. So some of us use them for spiritual works, but some people use the mushrooms more for mental health. They might not even really be into quote unquote spiritual works and focusing on things like that, but they'll still utilize them for the neurotropic and for the mental and spiritual balancing, so to speak. And that's what brings me to the topic we're going to talk about real quick, which is the microdosing integration protocol program, right? Because when we're using high gram mushrooms to go in and work on our spiritual security clearances and to go and travel and to do all of these things, we're more or less psychonauts. We're trained for this, right? But when it comes to microdosing, this is one of those things that are needed more in the community than, let's say, high gram dosages, right? I would say high gram dosages is not for everybody. And when I say that, I mean, I feel like everybody should do at least one mushroom trip. Like, that's my own personal feelings. But the reality as a practitioner is they're not for everybody. High gram mushroom dosages might not be for everybody. But microdosing, and we're not going to use blanket statements, but microdosing, I feel like the majority of society could benefit from microdosing, period. Whether you have an issue, quote unquote, or not, right? Just off the mental clarity and the spiritual buffering that comes with it, right? But when it comes to people who are dealing with mental health, and this is the part that I'm really, when I'm saying I want to fuck around and find out when it comes to mental health, right? So this is the issue with microdosing, mushrooms, the psychedelic revolution, and how things have, went over the last few years is microdosing, first of all, is taking a subperceptual amount of mushrooms. Well, first of all, microdosing is taking a very smaller subperceptual amount of anything, right? You can microdose any medicine for the most part, more or less. But when we're talking about microdosing psilocybin mushrooms, we're talking about taking a subperceptual amount. That means below the amount of being able to perceive, subperceptual. So when you take a microdose and you feel all jittery and shaky and you gotta lay down, and oh my God, it wasn't a microdose. It was not a microdose. You took too much. Now it's not gonna be an issue or a problem. Just go outside. If you ever feel like, oh, I took too much on low dosages, let me be specific. If you're on low dosages that were meant to be very low or microdosing and you feel jittery, you feel overwhelmed, you feel like you just gotta lay down, you feel like, oh my God, this is more than I want to take, just go outside. The majority of the time, it's because you're inside and your spirit is starting to actually open up and it doesn't feel the wind blowing. It doesn't feel the sun. It doesn't feel the grass or the soil under your feet. Nothing feels right. It feels entrapped. It feels closed in. The air is stale. You know what I'm saying? The colors is pale. They're not giving, right? And all of this in your spirit don't sit right. And that's your spirit that you're actually feeling kind of like what the zzz. And if you go outside and you feel the fresh air and you feel the sun or the wind or whatever, it'll start to balance out. So that's that. But to be clear, a microdose is a sub-perceptual amount. So the issue with this is that a lot of people could benefit from microdosing, want to microdose, need to microdose. But we have people running around saying, oh yeah, I microdose. And then you might be interested, like, oh, I'd like to microdose. And they'd be like, yeah, I microdose. My microdose is 2 grams. Yeah, my microdose is 2 grams because I didn't took 20 grams. So I didn't took so much that a microdose for me is 2 or 3 grams. It's 3.5. It's a gram and a half. And if you don't know nothing and you're taking a gram to microdose and now you're fucking high as giraffe pussy and you're trying to figure out why, right? It's irresponsible teachings and offerings going on right now. So let's be very clear. A microdose is a sub-perceptual amount. Okay, well, how much do it take before you perceive or not? These can be different amongst different people. This is why at the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, over the last 10 years or so, just studying this shit deep, going in real deep, coming in and figuring out what's really going on, we came up with the Microdose Integration Protocol Program. Try saying that 3 times fast. Don't worry about it. Microdose Integration Protocol Program. So it's a program that has protocols for you to integrate the understanding of microdosing. So it starts out with 2 Condor mind-body mapping books. So these are the books that you're going to use for 2 weeks. The program's 2 weeks long. 14 days, 2 weeks long. You get 2 7-day mind-body mapping books. Now, what you need those for is because over the next 14 days, you are going to experiment with 7 different things. You're going to have ashwagandha, which is a herb, okay? It's a root. And a lot of people are not aware of ashwagandha or the properties that it has within the body, within the mind, within the body for the mind. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So a lot of people are jumping right to microdosing mushrooms, not even realizing, right, that there's herbs that will alter your mental and spiritual buffering again. So we're going to give you 2 doses of ashwagandha. So for the first 2 days, you take ashwagandha and you're going to map it out. You're going to see how the waking feels, how you feel after you take them, how you feel that afternoon, that evening, going to sleep. Boom, you have it written in the journal for 2 days. Now you're going to switch over and take 2 100 milligram, 100, that is 1/10 of a gram, microdoses. That's the lowest that generally is utilized majority of the time, right? Even people who have a super high tolerance and only need a little bit, that's usually the little bit. By anything under that It usually isn't. If you're doing 50, 60 milligrams, it ain't. So 100 is usually beginning. But some people report that with that 100 milligrams, they felt their mental clarity was just on point. They felt that their spiritual buffering, meaning like the things that would aggravate you or just itch you, they don't. You don't even really notice them. It's kind of off your back. What they say, like a water off a duck's back, right? And so that's a start. But some people was like, I didn't feel nothing. I took it 2 days, 100 milligrams, 2 days in a row. I didn't feel anything. My kids still got on my nerves. My baby daddy got on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? I was mad. I ain't feel nothing, right? Okay. The next 2 days, you take 200 milligrams. Now, that's generally the average dose. Now, before I go further, let me explain to you what we're looking for is what we call the sweet spot. We're looking for the sweet spot. We're looking for that spot that when you take it, that day just seemed fucking magical. Huh, that was awesome, right? You know, and then you take another one the next day. That day was absolutely awesome, right? So we're looking for that range with all of these that we're going. So take the ashwagandha the first 2 days. The next 2 days you take the 100. The next 2 days you take the 200. Like I said, this is where most people find a sweet spot. 200 milligrams, a fifth of a gram. It's perfect for a lot of people. It's like, oh my God, that was awesome. Is that what people be talking about? Oh yeah, I felt like this and I went to work and my mind was just working like this. And I've had some, different testimonials, which I'm gonna give when I finish this, right? Now, after those 2 days, then you take the 300 milligrams. Now, this is the higher. I generally take 300 milligrams, 280, 300 milligrams, right? This is a third of a gram. Now, for people who are a little bit more like, I didn't feel nothing with that 100. The 200, I didn't feel anything. The 300, that's where it usually comes in at. I've never heard of anybody taking a 300, and not feeling anything. So I don't know anybody who needed 4 or 5. So when these people say, oh yeah, my microdose is a gram, they're really just jerking their egotistical, you know what I'm saying, peruvial thing, you know what I mean? They just stroking it a little bit because that's bullshit, because it's subperceptual. So wherever you start to feel it at, so if you take a 100 and you don't feel nothing, and you take a 200, you're like, yo, that's a bit heavy, and then you take a 150, and you like, that was perfect. Like I ain't really feel, but I could tell that's your microdose. That's your sweet spot. That's the amount that you want to take, right? And so after 300s, there you don't need to, because after that you could just take 200s. That'll be 400, right? Or take a 300 and a 200. That'll be 500, right? So there's no need to even create anything other than a 300 milligram. So we stop there. Now, this is where things switch up a little bit. This is where the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit comes in real. You can only get this here. And that is the next modality that we give you is 2 scholar seeds. Okay, so the scholar seeds are a what do they call proper prioritory blend, right? It's a neurotropic that we came up with here at the pad when we were studying plant medicines and different herbs and all of these different things. You want to come up with your own prioritory blend of something for something, right? So what I did is, being a scholar, and knowing different scholars, we had people who were taking like neurotropics trying to achieve certain things. And so I created my own, and it's called the scholar seed, right? Now, what it is that since people have been using it, they come back and tell me, some people have told me that they use this now instead of using Adderall. Now, being a person who's never used Adderall, I didn't know. So I kept asking when people would tell me, what is Adderall? What does it do? And why is it you could take this in place of that? And they were telling me that Adderall, it helps them like to be able to study and focus. It gives them energy and all of this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's good, because that's what I made the scholarship to do. It gives you energy so you could be up late nights studying. It gives you focus, right? It gives you clarity of mind. It gives you the ability to focus on multiple things though. And this is where I was told that the Adderall gives people tunnel vision. So they could focus good as fuck on one thing. Everything else they're oblivious to. But the scholarship gives you the ability to open multiple tabs all at the same time and still operate with all of these things with perfect efficiency. And it gives you the ability to retain the information that you're studying. A lot of people study for hours and can't remember the shit the next day. You got to be able to retain it, right? So that way, when you go a week or two later, you need to be able to, when you're taking a test or doing a speech, you need to what? Recall the information. You need to be able to go back, grab it real quick, bring it back out. So that's what the scholar seed was, is. It was created for scholars in school, okay? And its main ingredient is the seed of intellect, okay? Celastrus paniculatus. Celastrus paniculatus. The seed of intellect. That's one of the main ingredients in there, right? So it's neurotropic. So in the microdose integration protocol program, then you have 2 days of that, okay? And you are going to feel your brain working, registering. You're going to feel energy moving. It is one of the most interesting modalities, and it is the #1 selling product at the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit out of all of our different capsulized modalities and things. So everybody who's tried it absolutely loves it. So you get 2 of those. And then after that, because now you've had 2 ashwagandha, 2 100s, 2 200s, 2 300s, 2 scholar seeds. So now we're up to 10, right? After that, you get 2 of the pad stacks. Now, what is that? The stacks are psilocybin mushroom, lion's mane, and niacin, all in the same, right? Now, there's different stacks. Stacks are when you put things on top of each other. So some people's stacks are psilocybin mushrooms, lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi. And this gives you more energy because of the cordyceps. So people do different stacks. So when I say pad stacks, we're talking about the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit stacks. Get 2 of those. Now let me announce this, because that's how I feel about this last one. After 12 days of all of those, the last 2 things that you get, hold on, the last 2 things that you get, let me explain this. Everybody got scholar seed. Everybody has microdosing. The microdoses give you the ability to tap into the interdimensional realm, tap into your information, tap into your spirit, tap into those realms while you're still here in this consciousness. Use that energy, use that consciousness, use that information, right? So it takes you out of the matrix. The scholar seed gives you the ability to operate within the matrix with perfect execution, right? If you've seen, I'm going somewhere. So that's the scholar seed. So one of them takes you out of the matrix and one of them has you operating within the matrix perfectly. What we've done is we've taken the 2 of those and we went and got the person who made Thor's hammer and we had him weld those 2 together. So you got the scholar seed and the microdose put together as one. And of course, it is called the Limitless Pill. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Limitless, I don't need to say more. Except this is the natural version. Hey, listen, this is the natural version. And if you have not seen the movie Limitless about the pill, go watch it. And then after that, you can hit me up. Yeah, I mean, so when you put them 2 together, let me be very clear. I myself, in the last 8 years, have only taken the Limitless pill maybe 3 times. Yeah, it's big dog like that. It's big dog like that. It's you're supercharged. Your consciousness is through the roof. You're tapped into the source and the realms. It's like the ultimate fucking cheat code. I promise you. That's just on everything, right? So you get two of those. And so you have 14 days, 2 weeks to experience all of these different levels of so you can find your sweet spot. Because what happens is some people will call back and be like, listen, those 200s is perfect. That was the perfect level. So when I go, you know what I'm saying, to do my work, this and that, I take scholar seeds. But on the weekend, those 200s is what I take to do my thing, go hang out, go on a trail walk. You know what I'm saying? Some people will take the microdoses to go to work all week and then have limitless pills, or, you know what I'm saying, for when they get off and go hiking and go doing all kind of crazy sports on the weekend. So, you know, but that's the point is you have the ability to actually test these things out in a protocol, right? And know, and you're writing these things down. You're writing them down. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you after the 2 weeks, you can go back and you can read, you can look and say, okay, yeah, it did say that day. Oh yeah, that day. Oh, I was feeling real good because remember we went. Okay, yeah. And then you know what your microdose is, what level, what amount, responsibly. You figured it out, and then you could hit me back and be like, yo, I need a month worth of them 300s. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, I need 2 weeks of them 100s and 1 week of the microdoses. You know what I'm saying? I need 2 limitless pills for the next year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and if you already know what your range is, then you can just be like, yo, we need, you know, some 300s. I need some 200s for so and so. But I see that everybody is really back on a utilization of these modalities, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Um, Hit me up. We got it. We on deck. And if you need to want to, if you're interested in the microdose integration protocol program, if you'd actually like to experience that, that's usually for people who like really want to know, like they really want to take this serious. That's why I said, you know what I'm saying? People don't want to fuck around and find out when it comes to that mental health. This is serious to them. That's the thing about it. When people are using this for their mental health, and no, yeah, yeah. When people is using this for their mental health, they not trying to experiment. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is something that is an issue for them, and they're trying to get a hold of. So they need, you know what I'm saying, some assistance. They don't want to just fuck around and find out and see how. Nah, because if it's too much, or it make me tick, or it make me do this, then you know what I'm saying, it could be an issue. So you know, we need to respect and understand. A lot of people don't understand because they be coming from it from a recreational point of view. And so when they just saying stuff, they not understanding what the other person saying. Like, no, I'm not just trying to try some shit. Like, that's not, no, I'm looking for something to assist me. And that's why we created the Microdose Integration Protocol program, you know. So for those people who already know and how they get it popping, yeah, you could just tell us, you know what I'm saying, just ask us what we have in stock and we could take care of you. But yeah, so let me see what else was it I wanted to touch on real quick before I moved on. Well, what's pop? What's all on your mind? What's you doing all these spaces for? You know what I'm saying? There's some going on behind the scenes, yo. Let's bring it to the forefront. You know, but yeah, so if you're interested, like if you need it for your mental health, if you need this and you're interested in seeing if this assists you, if it could be something you can lean into, hit me up about the Microdose Integration Protocol Program, M.I.P.P. Let's take it serious. But other than that, if I ain't got no questions, comments, or concerns, you know what I'm saying? I got any questions? Let me see if I got any questions, comments, concerns coming across the floor real quick. But how y'all doing? Let me see what else we got going. The sincere mirage infused wines are on deck. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who know, if you don't know, you can inquire. But we have a full stock. Sincere Mirage is hosting dinners once a month on the first Sunday of every month. Sincere Mirage is hosting a dinner. So if you're looking to be added to that invite list, you have to let me know. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Bottles are on deck. They ready to order. What else, man? Everything is going on, man. Everything is going on at the pad. Like all the coffers is full, all the medicine jars is full. Whatever it is you might need, whatever modality, whether it be for your health and your healing journey, or whether it be for your spirituality, character growth and development, and or psychonaut and theogenic interests, hit me up. But as always, other than that, tell somebody you love them and what? Peace, baby. The language that no, they can understand it in. Peace.